Welcome back. Finance Minister Tito Mboweni has allocated 17 billion rand to SAA. This is to assist the SOE in implementing its business rescue plan. Joining us now for more reaction on that is Numsa spokesperson Phakamile Hlubi-Majola. Phakamile, of course, the minister announcing 10.5 billion initially in his speech. The 6.5 billion is we're still getting clarity on that. But what's your reaction to this decision?
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to the viewers. As Numsa and SAA, we must say we are relieved that finally the money which SAA needs for the restructuring has finally been allocated. This 10.5 billion is money which we have been waiting for a very, very long time. And indeed, we can say that we are relieved. However, this moment comes at a huge, huge cost for workers and their families. Many of our members have suffered enormously in order for this to happen. For the last 5 months, they've gone without salaries, and what that has meant in terms of the devastation of their lives is immense. So it's a bittersweet moment.
Yeah.
Right now.
Do you think this money is enough, though, to ensure that workers don't lose their jobs or actually get to, in the future be rehired into different positions?
Well, if you recall from the business rescue plan, they needed 10.5 billion operating capital for the restructured airline. So essentially that money has been identified and will now be allocated. What journalists should be focusing on, and really for us this is the most important question, is how will that money be spent and who will be doing the spending. This restructured SAA will fail if it continues to have the same board members and the same executive team running it. So as I'm sure you're aware, the chairperson of SAA board, Thandeka Mgoduso, resigned yesterday, a decision which we welcome and which in our view was way overdue. But we need every member of the board to resign. And the person who's left at the moment is Peter Chiseve. And we think he should do the right thing in the interest of South Africans and resign.
Yeah, there's lots of criticism about this decision, Phakamile, from opposition parties, from economists, many of them saying we simply don't have this sort of money to be pumping into SAA.
I think those who criticize these decisions are very narrow in their perspective and have not actually thought about how we got here. If you recall, Shahan, in 2018, when Vuyani Jagana was still CEO of SAA, he required, what was missing from his plan was an amount of 12 billion, which government needed to give him in order to recapitalize the airline. SAA has not been actually recapitalized, and that money was never approved and was never given as money which he needed in order to implement a turnaround strategy. You'll also remember, Shahan, that included in that turnaround strategy was a joint venture agreement with Ethiopian Airlines. Now, if DPE and government at that time had taken the decision to give the CEO at that time the 12 billion, we wouldn't be in the mess that we're in today. Even the damage of COVID would not have affected us as much because the joint venture agreement which Ethiopian Airlines was prepared to sign with SAA involved them taking over or taking the burden of the international business. So had that joint venture agreement actually been allowed to take place, it would have meant that Ethiopian Airlines would be absorbing the fullness of the COVID-19 international travel ban lockdown and not SAA. So I think it's very important that people must remember how we got here and make sure that when they do their analysis, they're cognizant of the fact that poor decisions were taken by government and DPE, which led us to the point where we are today, where we now with 10.5 billion rand has to be spent to turn around SAA, but at the same time, more than 2,000 employees have had to lose their jobs in order for this to happen.
All right, thanks for your time. Appreciate it. Numsa spokesperson Phakamile Hlubi-Majola.